try to be nosy and hit up my ex. She like, girl, you can count on him.
Hey, hey, we need more, tell them we need more. Putting numbers on the board, let them keep the score. Hey, 16 cars in my front yard. Hey, 30 on my wrist, one point to guard.
Big numbers, 100 million bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, whole team counted, that's a big number. Big numbers, 100 million bag, that's a big number.
On a gorgeous southern afternoon, EA Sports coverage of the NFL takes us to Atlanta, Georgia, and inside Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Today, it's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we've got a good one in store between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Atlanta Falcons. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Mike 45. Coming to you.
A carry for Devontae Freeman, who missed most of last season. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5.
And Falcons fans everywhere excited that Devontae Freeman is back on the field wearing number 24 in the red and black. Remember, he went down in Week 2 in 2018 with an injury and didn't return. They're hoping to see the form that led him to 1,000-yard seasons in 2015 and 2016.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Ryan's throw caught by Jones. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 14 yards there on a Falcon first down. So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. They run Devontae Freeman. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. 3rd and long. It's Ryan. And that is incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. And out of bounds, sailed over, looked like right near the pylon. This one's going to be perfect. Directional kicking at its finest, right down at the 1-yard line.
Ready, 25, check 45, touchdown.
This is Peyton Barber. He led them in rushing a season ago. And now where are they going to mark him here? Well, they say he did get back to the 1-yard line, but that could have easily been 2 points the other way. Out of his end zone, Winston. And it's incomplete. Good coverage that time by the linebacker, Deion Jones.
I think that's a big-time play there because the slant route is really hard to cover because the timing is so quick. But able to see it, diagnose it, and get to the football, that's why he was able to bat it away.
Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on 3rd down. Winston. And he's got a man. It's the tight end, Howard, complete. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 20. A gain of 19 and picking up the first.
And with the Buccaneers' new coaching staff, you have to figure they're going to want to use O.J. Howard a little bit more this season. 34 catches, 565 yards last year, but that was in only 10 games. 6'6", 251, and can run. Find a way to get him the ball as they just did there.
And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. That's good for a Buccaneer first, a pickup of 12 yards.
Peyton Barber, a surprise workhorse for the Buccaneers in 2018. I don't think they expected him to have 234 carries, but he certainly felt like he could carry the load and just carried it there for a nice gain.
The safety, Keanu Neal, there to make the tackle.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And Brate, the tight end's got it. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop, but that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
Ryan and the Falcons now come up 1st and 10 at their own 13. The drive will start with a carry by Devontae Freeman. And just not a ton of room to work with. He'll get it to the 15 for a gain of 2. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Ryan on the handoff. It's Freeman. He's got a first down and more past the 30. No score after 1 on EA Sports. On the heels of that good carry by Devontae Freeman, here's 1st and 10. A nice burst there as they'll get about 7 that time on the first down run. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. From the gun on 3rd down, Ryan. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Levante David in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that will lead to 4th down.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game, watching this offensive line, because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit, right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
Time here to remind you that coming up later tonight on Sunday Night Football, it's the Seahawks and the Eagles from Lincoln Financial Field in Philly. And then tomorrow night on Monday night, more Birds with the Ravens involved in that one. Sadly not taking on the Cardinals or Falcons, though. Instead, they'll match up with the Rams in L.A. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Watch safety creep. Safety's creeping.
From the 24, Winston. He finds his tight end Howard. That's complete. The 40, the 30, 10. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. O.J. Howard, 76 yards, as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. After a fairly uneventful first quarter, that last play, that'll make a few highlight clips.
It certainly will, and you're exactly right. The first quarter almost felt like a feeling out process, didn't it? Both teams, okay, what are we going to do? Looks like they ramped things up just a little bit to start the second quarter.
And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And back Back onto the field now comes Devontae Freeman. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. JPP cruising in for the sack that time. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. A good start to the drive here as that's caught out on the left side. 17 yards on the play and a Buccaneer first down. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So you got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
Now Winston. It's caught by Mike Evans. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Good work after the catch. Going to net him 23 and a first. Now Winston. He completes it to Evans. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down.
Mike 45. Rap.
Jameis now on first down. Looking for Godwin, and he's got him complete. And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Chris Godwin, the former Penn Stater, should see an increase in action and production in 2019 with Adam Humphries and Deshaun Jackson gone from the team. 842 yards in 2018, second only to Mike Evans on the Buccaneers.
The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
Ready? 25. Come on, boy. You better be ready.
On 3rd and 1, here's Winston. That's complete to his receiver, Godwin. And he gets the first down yardage before he's brought down just outside the 10 at the 11. First down, Winston. Gotta say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Jameis again. And Evans hauls it in. Touchdown, Bucs. Mike Evans in the final seconds of the first half as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead.
That's one of the better examples of clock management I've seen. Whittled it all the way down just about and still put the ball in the end zone.
Yeah, just a methodical drive and something really to take into the lockers here. So that drive in total 8 plays. And it's all finished off with a touchdown by Tampa Bay. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Open man is Howard, the tight end. Yeah, they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 17 yards on the play and a Buccaneer first down. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. It used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
Barber on 1st and 10. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 14 yards there and a Buccaneer first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
So the 14 yards actually takes him from 143 to the other for 1st and 10. Flushed out right. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete. Mike Evans, the one he was looking for. But it'll be 2nd down.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
They'll run with a former Tar Heel, T.J. Logan. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Just a couple there on the 2nd down run. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8 situation.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there, but how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
Play action now, Winston. He's got Evans. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 27-yard line.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Jameis now, pretty amazing. 14 of 16 throwing the ball. It's 1st and 10. Running is Barber. Oh, Barber loses it.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop it right around the 1. He'll get 6 on the ground there, and it'll be 2nd and goal coming up.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. 2nd and goal from the 1. throw is Winston. And he's got his tight end, Howard. It's a Buccaneer touchdown. 3 touchdown passes now in the ball game for Jameis Winston as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
So that one, a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive, and it ends with a touchdown for the Bucs. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So we get set to start this third quarter. Here's the Falcons offense now. And their halftime hole now even deeper. And they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
On second down, it's Freeman. And the Buccaneer defense for the second straight play flexing its muscle by forcing a loss. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Ryan. Oh, it's intercepted. He was trying to get it to Ridley. Carlton Davis picks it, and they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Winston gives to Barber. That's good for a Buccaneer first, a pickup of 12 yards. Blocking at the point of attack there was very strong. He had a couple of running lanes.
And I never want to overlook the offensive line, but that's what they get paid to do. How about the quarterback? Everyone thinks all he's going to do is throw the football. His movement and deception can help a running game as well.
Back now here on EA Sports. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. First down, they go with Barber again. And able to work his way down to the 16. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. Winston leaves it with Barber on the draw. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
2 yards on the play. First down.
They'll run on first down. Barber. And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. On second down, Barber. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. That second down play nets a -4.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively, because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed.
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Jameis Winston with his 4th touchdown pass of the afternoon. And the Bucs capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. but you get points. You feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
No gain on the screen there at second down. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. 17 yards and a first down for Atlanta.
Nice game there, partner, but you and I both know that won't do anything for the final score. They're not going to win this one. Right now they're playing for pride and fantasy points.
And just to erase that goose egg, nobody wants to be shut out. Ryan gets it to his tight end, Hooper. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 12 yards is the pickup, good for a first down for the Falcons. Ryan now, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Well, this pass complete. Ryan finding Hardy. And now we'll get a stoppage here. There appears to be an injured Falcon on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. The Falcons on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. To throw again is Ryan. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed. But all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. Winston here to throw. He finds his target. It's Evans. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 27 yards there, a first down. On 1st and 10, Winston. And he finds Howard complete. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. A carry for Barber. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5. And quickly they get to the line. Throwing, Winston. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Tack McKinley in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. And they weren't in zone coverage, they were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They are down big. They have not scored a single point. I don't know, are they so defeated at this point you just want to get in the locker room and get the heck out of here?
That is one way to...
They've got his man complete. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. And now we'll get a timeout here. They're able to stop it with 1 second to go in this game. So that changes things. Here's 1st and 10 all the way up at the 45. He's going to let it fly. And that will be incomplete. as time has run out on this football game. So fire the cannons. It's a victory here for Tampa Bay. And this was truly a total team effort, Charles, on both sides of the ball.
Well, they absolutely pitched a shutout, so it can't get much better than that, right? The defense led the way, but the offense did their part as well. They moved the ball up and down the field. So you've got to like what you saw. What do they call that? A total team effort? I think when it's time to hand out game balls, guys from both sides will end up getting one. So for Tampa Bay, they keep pace in the playoff race as they move to 8.